everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at 7 games I played over the Christmas holidays. I actually played quite a bit more than 7, but these are 7 that I was able to play multiple times and play with my family, and games I thought might work for the holidays. So let's take a look at them. We're going to go from largest to smallest. Here we go. Are you more like? This is not imaginatively named, but that is actually the course of this game. Are you more like a tree frog, a painter's palette, or a rubber ducky, a harmless unicorn, or half a pair of socks? And so that's what this game is. Now, there are a lot of these games out there, and this one here from Rusty Lumpkin and 3 Nail Games. Rusty Lumpkin definitely sounds like a made-up name, but this is... There's a lot of these games out there, but this one has a slight difference to it. I'll show you. Each player is going to pick a figure, put it on the board with their color. You're also going to take tiles that are equal to the player's -1, and you're going to get a handful of 5 cards that show various things. Guacamole, pine cone, pine tree, eggshell, pants, thunderstorm, bow and arrow, flower, swing, etc. Each round of the game, one person's going to go. That person, everyone has their own little card here that says most like and least like. But the person whose turn it is gets the golden arrow and golden X. Everyone else will have their own color X. And then everyone plays a card, and these cards are put in the middle of the table and shuffled, so we don't know who gave what card. And then you put a card in each slot. X-ray, woven basket, submarine here. We have chicken, buoy, and knitting needle. So this is a 7-player game. So there's 6 choices to pick from. And everyone is going to put numbers down here on their thing, secretly, for the one that they think the person whose turn it is most like, and the one that they think they are least like. Then the person who is playing does the same thing. Then everybody will show which one they picked for least liked and most liked. And then the person whose turn it is will show which ones they think they're most like and least like. If you match either one of those, you get a point. So you can get 2 points each round. And if it's your card that was played, you also get a point. The person whose turn it is doesn't get any points, and we just keep going around till somebody gets to the end and wins. That's the game. So the slight difference I mentioned at the beginning is simply that the game is not mean. Most of the time, these games can be mean, like, who's the biggest baby here? Which one of these? These are very innocuous things, like, oh, board game, a rubber duck, or what have you. But it doesn't really matter. The players aren't necessarily voting to see, oh, Joe is most like a pig. No, they're trying to vote what they think Joe thinks they're most like. And if Pig's out there, they probably think that Joe will say he is least like that. So it works really well. When I played this, nobody was upset. No one was like, I can't believe everyone thought this about me. It was more like, what do you think about yourself? And trying to think of it that way. And it plays very smoothly. The artwork is nice. Like I said, it's very simple, easy game to play. So I'll give Are You More Like a 7 out of 10. We've reviewed Tapple on the channel before. This is Tapple Disney. Is there any differences? Well, slightly. I'll show you. This is a party game that sells very well, in which you're pressing letters down as you shout out answers. Here's how it plays. This game needs 2 AA batteries for it to work. And what you'll do is you'll press the button you'll turn it on to get it to go. You will press these like this to reset all the letters, and then you'll press the button to start. Now, you're going to have a category. You can use the picture sides of these cards, Little Mermaid, Alice in Wonderland, so on, or you can use the word side of the card where there's 2 different categories. So maybe you're playing In McDuck Manor. So I go first, so we start the timer off, and I can pick anything there, so I say Scrooge McDuck, and then I press this button, hand it to the next person. So then they might say Dewey, and then Huey, and then Louie, and then, I was going to say Launchpad, but L has already been clicked. Now, I do have a wild, so I can say Launchpad. But you could also say, pile of gold, whatever you want. If at any point you press the wrong letter, you say a wrong word, or the timer runs out in your turn, you're eliminated, and you're out of that round. And we keep going to only one person's left in the round. And then that person gets the card. So they have won. And you just keep going to one person has collected 3 cards, and then the game is over. Now, Tapple itself is a good game. I have it in the Dice Tower library. It's a game that my family likes a lot. It's one that you can carry around. You can even play it in the car, not the driver, just passing the thing around. There's a lot of, it's an easy one to transport, although this is a very cheap, bad box. but because the cards go inside the back of the machine, and you just need a couple batteries and it works. This one, though, I give a 6 out of 10. I don't love it as much as the original Tapple, and that's just because of Disney. I'm not anti-Disney, but I also, when it will say princes and princesses as a category, I'm like, yes, I got this one. Or Disney songs, that sort of thing is fun. But occasionally you'll get something, let's say it's in Radiator Springs, and you go, oh, what is Radiator Springs? And you feel a little dumb. Everyone's like, well, it's from Cars, and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes there will be one. And we had a couple where it came across and everybody was like, no one really knows that movie particularly well. Or one person knows it well and no one else does. And so there's that little unevenness there that makes me like it less. You have to really want to, watch Disney all the time with all the movies and such. But if you love Disney, you're really going to enjoy this. So definitely check that out. And Tapple itself is a great game system. So there you go. Miams is a little game. Miams maybe is how it's pronounced. You're basically collecting fruit. It's a Yahtzee-esque game, but it's a Yahtzee game in which you're going to get better as the game progresses. Let me show you. Each player is going to get a sheet, and the sheets are slightly asymmetrical in that each one has a different scoring thing crossed off on it. Players are going to be rolling 5 dice in their turn, and you can keep as many dice of one kind as you want, or whatever you want to keep. And you can re-roll up to 2 times. Well, there you go. I just got a Yahtzee. Nice. So I have 5 of the same. So I would circle this 6 heart here, because it's the one to the leftmost here, and I would cross off 6 hearts on my score sheet here. Crossing off 40 is going to trigger the end of the game. The next time, let's say I got another Yahtzee, I would do the 6. I would circle the 7, because the 6 is already done, and that would also give me a token. This token I can spend in the future to give me an extra die. And you can get more and more points that way. Some things, when you circle them, will give you stars. At the end of a round, players can buy a card. One card is free. The other cards cost 1, 2, or 3 stars. You can also buy off the top of the deck. Some cards give you permanent abilities, like this, your reroll tokens that you get sometimes that you can spend for reroll. Give you 2 rerolls. You just have an extra reroll. You have an extra watermelon. You have one-time use cards where your X's are turned into wilds. There's a wild marshmallow on this die here. Then there's scoring ones. This says I get an extra scoring for every blueberry I roll, or an extra star that I can spend for each of my orange peels that I have. So all of these are going to be, you can get one at every turn, and they're going to change how you roll and what you do. You're trying to roll a pair, 3 of a kind, full house, 4 of a kind, 5 different, or 5 of the same. Now, whenever you roll an X, everybody else must cross off an X on their leftmost thing, which is good, actually, because when you cross off an X, you don't get the points, but you get the token underneath them, and that means the next time you do it, you'll start at a higher number. So the more X's you have, the better. Anyway, when one person reaches the end, you'll just take stars for scoring to finish off that round, and then whoever has the most points plus stars is the winner of the game. I have a soft spot for this game because there's a lot of these games out there where you can roll the dice and re-roll up to 2 times. But the idea here, which is kind of roll pair, 2 pair, no, not 2 pair, a pair, 3 of a kind, so on. It's not that novel. But getting a card every round is novel. I have a card that turns strawberries into watermelons. So now I want to roll watermelons and strawberries. I have a better chance of getting that. I have a card that says whenever someone gives me an X, I will cross off 2 X's. So I'll take that. I have a card at one time use says every blueberry gives me a point, and I just rolled 4 blueberries. That's 4 extra points. Because the game is a race. It's trying to get as many points as you possibly can. And I like that. There's that smidge of asymmetry at the beginning where everyone has an X. Gets even more pronounced as you go through. And some people are going to complain, and this is a valid complaint, that sometimes the free card that drops into the person's slot is a really good card, especially on turn 1. Because in turn, later on in the game, you can argue, well, if it was such a great card, you should have bought it. But I don't mind that. I don't mind the kind of, it's like a tech tree in a game, but it's also easy for people to play and light and fun. I enjoyed this one, 7 out of 10. Add to Playlist is a party game from Big Potato Games, which is kind of a misnomer since, or I'm saying the same thing twice because Big Potato is always party games. But this is a game in Do You Know Your Friends' Music Tastes? Sort of. Let me show you. In this game, you have this unnecessary disco board and then these little disco dancers, and this is how you have points. Your disco dancers stand on your side of the board. But there is a very large deck of cards in the game, and each round, or each game actually, you're going to put out 5 cards that talk about different songs. A song you want played at your funeral, a song by your favorite solo artist, a song that reminds you of your best friend, your mom's favorite song, a song you think would be the anthem for this group of players, a song your parents would never play, a song that would make a terrible lullaby, a song you hope your kids love as much as you do. You're on the pool, holiday, lying by the pool. What song is playing? A song you've listened to in the last 24 hours. A song that hasn't aged well, and so on and so forth. Now, once you have these songs, then each team, you're split into 2 teams, is going to make a playlist, and this is an actual playlist from one of our games, and each person on the team must put in 1 song, but you can have more than 1 song because there needs to be 5 songs total, which means that you're limited to 5 people per team. So once everyone puts those songs in, you will then shuffle and play the songs one at a time for the other team. The other team has to guess who picked the song and which category. For each of those things they get correct, they get 1 point. Also, the first team that finishes putting their playlist together can take this guy here. Yeah. And you can use this once to say, I'm doubling the points from this one because we feel very confident who did the song or what category they picked. That's it. You then shuffle your playlist, you play them. For each team will go back and forth playing the playlists. And then whoever has the most dancers on their side of the disco wins. And then you play again, because that's almost too short of a game. I wondered before playing this game, like how well you have to know the other players. There is a few hang-ups here, of course. There's a playlist. You have to make sure your phone's on mute while you're picking a playlist in case you accidentally click the song and it starts playing. And then there's a little bit of weirdness because you'll be like, well, John already picked one, and John didn't seem like he had the phone that long, so I think he only had 1 song, so this song probably isn't his. I wish there was a way around that, but that's all minor. I found this to be tremendously fun. I thought that the categories were fun. They were easy to do. You saw that list there where I showed you, and there was some songs in there, and that was my team. And you might be surprised at the song I put on there because it was one of the K-pop songs I didn't even know, but it was a song that was like a song your parents would never listen to. And I knew my parents would never listen to that. And so then but then my daughter put a K-pop song on there too, or K-Demon Hunters, whatever. And they put a song on there, but it was a completely different category. And I find that to be amusing. It's fun to play the songs. Everyone's looking at it going, who picked Living on a Prayer? Who picked Who Let the Dogs Out? And what category? It's just entertaining. Like I said when I went over in the overview, I don't think this is a game you'll ever play once. You'll play it again. You could do different rounds and just add them up because people are amused that everyone knows songs. Everyone has music. And everyone has someone on each team is going to have a playlist of music somewhere, and you just pick the songs. And it's fun because you can think of a song. What song is your wrestling anthem as you come out? Or what song is a song that you want played on a romantic first date? That's just entertaining. There's zillions of songs that can be played. It's really funny. I enjoy this one. Not amazing quality. I don't care about that board in the middle and the little dancer stuff, but they did a good job on the categories. So an 8 out of 10, add to playlist. Hidden Leaders Duel, although Hidden Leaders itself is a good 2-player game, this is a small little card version of Hidden Leaders, which has some cool artwork. And in this game, you're trying to have cards to control, secretly influence your conclaves. Let me show you. In this game, there's a deck of cards that is going to be have numbers from 0 to 3 of these different powers. Each player is going to get a leader who is 1 power in 2 of the factions. You'll keep that secret. And you'll have a hand of cards. And then on your turn, the first thing you'll do is you take any 2 heroes in your hand. So maybe I'll take this one and this one. These come into my hand. I got a 0 and a 2. I now can put cards face up like that. I put out 2 cards face up. When I take cards, I can take face up ones. That's up to me. And then I have 2 options. I can either take one of my cards and put it face down in my secret council, or I can take a card and put it on top of a card out there, which means that card can't be moved. Neither card can be touched for the rest of the game. And then I will draw a card from the deck if there's still any cards in the deck. This will keep going until everyone has played all their cards. And when that happens, you're going to reveal all the cards that someone has played in front of them. So here, these were the secret cards in front of me. This means I have an influence in the Water Guild. I have 4. In the Death Guild, I have 4. And in the Green Mountain Guild, I have 1. And I have nothing in the Red Guild. You'll reveal all the cards in the middle, which means some lines might be longer than others. Each of these lines here, which are called chambers, are close to one of the 2 players, and that matters. When I win, let's say I win, I have 1 death. 4, my opponent has 2. I'll take all the death cards in the row that there is more death cards in. There's the same here, so then I can choose and take this one here, which is worth 3 points at the end of the game. If we tie, let's say we both have 4, then we'll take the one that's in the chamber, the ones that are in the chamber close to us. If you don't have any power, you don't get anything. I lost red, for example. I didn't have any red influence. My opponent would take these, if let's say they just had 1. They would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That doesn't count. But they'd have 5 points. I don't get these 4 because I have no red influence. So we just go through the 4. We take them. Whoever has the most power in the cards that they take is the winner of the game. I don't particularly love Hidden Leaders Duel. And I think a lot of it is because it is a much ado about nothing. There's a lot of, I take 2 cards, I play 2 cards, I put a card here and all this in the council. But the inner board shifts so much that it doesn't feel like it matters. Why would I put 3s out there in the middle of the table? If I put out 3, then you're going to you're going to try to control it through influence. And so people use the 3s as their influence cards, which then makes the cards out in the middle low in score. I'm going to put, and what are the points of zeros? You just put them on your opponent's side just so that they get 0. Or if you think they're controlling a color, you'll put more zeros out in the middle. You'll never put a 0 in front of yourself as influence. So it's okay. Then they're like, ooh, the leaders. And that's kind of like an advanced role in a sense. Like, ooh, you have 1 of 2 different things. It's not that big of a deal. So the game is not very heavy. It's very, very, very light. But also the weirdness of the interchange, I just don't find it to be very fascinating back and forth. It's okay at best, but I'd give this a 5 out of 10. Rudolph. Hey, there's very few Christmas-themed games out there, so we needed to play one of these over Christmas. And Rudolph is a small box card game from DeVere about building your sleigh. Let me show you. In this game, each player will have 10 cards face down in front of them. They will also get 2 Rudolph endgame scoring cards. They'll pick between them. We have these 5 majority cards here, 1 card in the middle of the table. Each round of the game, each player is going to take the top card of their deck and put it in the middle. You'll then flip all these cards over, and then players will just grab a card. It could be the one that started in the middle until each person has a card. The card that's left in the middle will stay the same. You'll keep doing that 10 times until everyone has 10 cards. When you take a card, your first card will go in front of you like this. After that, you can add a card as either more reindeer, or you can extend your sleigh on the different sides, like this. And at the end of the game, you are going to take your Rudolph and add them to the front. Now, each sleigh is going to score at the end of the game. So this one, for example, says for every green and yellow reindeer you have, you get 2 points. So I have 1 yellow, 1 green. I have 2 green, but there's no matching yellow. So that's 2 points. Then every green, purple, and blue. Well, I didn't do very well for that one. I got no points at all. But the different kinds of sleighs are usually that regard. They're either going to be 2, 3, or sometimes having the most of a color between all the different players, or just 1 for every one of that color. The Rudolphs will also score you. This one, for example, scores 2 points and wins majority. Ties. That's because over here at the end of the game, whoever has the biggest connected group of each color will take these 5-point cards. So if there's a tie, no one gets it unless it's this player. This one here will double your last sleigh twice. This one here is just a wild color reindeer, etc. You add up your points, and whoever has the most is the winner. Rudolph is a real-time game, but it's not a real-time game that I find to be particularly egregious if you don't like real-time games, because you're all flipping over a card, and then everyone grabs a card, and someone might grab the card you want, but you're always going to have at least a choice of 2 cards. And if you're like, oh, I don't need 2 green reindeer, but you could maybe use the back of that sleigh as more scoring. And sometimes you know what card you want. You might know you want that middle card that's already out there. So it's simple. You build up your sleigh. You try to get groups of the most reindeer out there and your Rudolph card scoring. My only complaint would be about the Rudolph cards because I don't think the symbology on them is that simple. So you have to pass around the rule book so everyone can go, oh, that's what my Rudolph cards do. Some are easy. I showed you the wild reindeer Rudolph, but the rest of them, it's like, what does that link mean? Oh, it's a group and blah, blah, blah. Also, I thought their scoring sheet about how groups work was not particularly clear, but we just said if they're connected by cards, it seemed we just used common sense on connecting reindeer, and that worked okay. But I still thought it was a fun little game. It's quick. You flip over 10 cards, you build your sleigh, you score, you're done. The very definition of a filler game, a game you kind of play when you have a little bit of time in between other activities. So that's Rudolph. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Check it out. And there you go, folks. That is 7 games that I played over Christmas. Some I like, some were okay. But maybe you like them, maybe you don't. Let me know in the comments your opinions on these games. And thanks for watching. I especially want to say thank you to Eugene Debs. Thank you for your service. Larry and KT, Jeff from Southeast Kansas, and Vanessa G. Thanks for backing our Game Found. And thank the rest of you all for watching this show. I'm Tom Vasel. See you later. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.